You're watching WBRZ Channel 2 News on your side with Dave Lehman, Andrea Clessy, Pat Shingleton, and Mike Rhodes.
Hi, Lee. I'm Daryl Richter, investigative reporter for Channel 2. Can we go this way? Absolutely. Okay.
We begin tonight with a Channel 2 News exclusive. Our investigation reveals your attorney may not be quite what you think. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Andrea has the night off. At the top of the news at this hour, a warning tonight if you need a lawyer. A Channel 2 News investigation reveals a disturbing problem. People practicing law even though they have no right to. Daryl Richter joins us now with a story you'll only see here on Channel 2. Daryl?
You hire a lawyer to fix your problems, but in Baton Rouge, some lawyers may be creating more problems than they fix. How do you know if your attorney is legit?
I was looking for an attorney, and a friend of mine told me about this lady.
Mildred Reed says she hired Baton Rouge attorney Leila Withers to help her with a case. She showed us this receipt for paying Withers $528 up front for her services. Services she says she never got.
She didn't do anything. Put it like that. She didn't do anything.
Channel 2 News looked for a phone number for Withers but found no listing. So we went to her house where she practices to get her side of the story. Hi, is Leah Withers here? Hi, Leah. I'm Daryl Richter, investigative reporter for Channel 2. Can we go this way? Absolutely. Okay. Have you paid your membership dues to the Bar Association?
No, yeah, and I have no comment to make. Wait a minute. Y'all go back this way.
You have no comment?
I have no comment.
Why haven't you paid your membership dues?
I have no comment.
Why not?
No comment.
What do you have to say to your clients?
No comment.
Are you helping your clients at all?
No comment.
Do you have anything you can tell us?
No comment.
Why not?
I need to talk to my attorney.
But we thought Leila Withers was an attorney. The State Bar Association told us she's ineligible to practice for non-payment of bar dues. Withers owes the bar $345. Until she pays, she can't practice law. And Withers isn't alone. The Bar Association says hundreds of other Louisiana attorneys should not be practicing law because they haven't paid their annual dues. If you could say one thing to Miss Withers right now, what would you say?
If you're going to be an attorney, be a good attorney or don't be any at all.
Here's the bottom line. If lawyers don't pay their dues, they can't practice law in Louisiana. So what can you do to protect yourself? Before you hire an attorney, call the Baton Rouge Bar Association to make sure he or she's legit. The number is 344-4803.
Daryl, is there anything that woman can do, given the situation?
Well, Mildred Reed wants her money back, and if she doesn't get that back, she might go to the district attorney and file criminal charges.
All right, what about the pending cases that the lawyer has?
The Bar Association says a lawyer cannot practice law until she pays her dues, period.
All right, Daryl, interesting story. Thank you very much. A man facing 9 attempted murder charges turned himself into police today. Police say that Kevin Zito used his car to mow down 9 pedestrians Saturday night on Chime Street. He apparently then backed over at least one of the victims before he drove off. 5 people were hospitalized for their injuries. State police pulled over a man for drunk driving, but they actually got a whole lot more than expected. Crime reporter Marvin Hurst explains. Marvin.
Dave, the prime suspect in a Sabine Parish murder case was arrested by troopers in Baton Rouge, then set free, then arrested again.
Situation could have been much worse than it was for our trooper and or Mr. Oxley.
Trooper William Davis is talking about the arrest of Eric Oxley. State police pulled him over for suspected DWI. Oxley was arrested and taken to the East Baton Rouge prison, but there was no room for him in the jail. So troopers brought him back to their office, where he sat for hours, making phone calls, trying to get a ride. Finally, troopers assisted Oxley to his destination, a job interview in Gonzales. Sounds routine, except for the fact that 19-year-old Oxley had reportedly murdered a man in Sabine Parish on Monday. The Sabine Parish authorities had not contacted Louisiana State Police about Eric's Oxley. He could still be a free man. Apparently, there was nothing on the computer that indicated that he was wanted for questioning. Which brings us to the question, who's to blame?
I don't think we can blame anybody because an investigation, criminal investigation, may take hours, may take days.
But the fact an accused killer sat in troopers' presence without their knowledge makes them uneasy. Now, Oxley was taken back to Sabine Parish this morning to face second-degree murder charges in the death of Edward Carnline. The truck Oxley was driving when he was pulled over belonged to the murder victim. Dave?
Okay, Marvin, thank you very much. Tonight we have an update for you on the controversy involving rap music star Master P of Baton Rouge and LSU sports. Lawyers for Master P, in a faxed statement to us here at Channel 2 today, claim no NCAA rules were ever broken. In September, Master P expanded his empire by launching a sports management agency. LSU officials worried that Master P's relationships with LSU athletes could have violated NCAA rules. Well, now his attorneys say that Master P never applied to become an official sports agent, so therefore it was impossible for him to break the rules. Did federal prosecutors who were investigating former Governor Edwin Edwards get the evidence that they really weren't entitled to? The state Supreme Court is deciding if federal prosecutors should have been given the transcripts of state grand jury gambling investigations. The records were transferred secretly. District Attorney Doug Morrow argues that a state judge did approve the move. The feds wanted the state transcripts to help them prosecute the former governor in a federal gambling probe. Edwards' attorneys said transferring secret grand jury documents is illegal. A state appeals court agreed with him. Expect a ruling from the Supreme Court in 6 weeks. It may not be a major dent, but authorities say at least it's a solid start. You are looking at 359 rifles, handguns, and shotguns that will never make it to the streets. The weapons are being disposed of in Denham Springs as a part of the Stop the Violence program. People bring the guns in voluntarily to discourage violent crime. Today, by the way, is the first meltdown in that program's history. Now let's turn to a bridge that is falling apart. No vehicles over 3 tons should be using it. But as Ken Pastrick found out today, you might be surprised at who is still driving over this bridge and doing it illegally.
The bridge next to Sanamo High School looks fine, but
on a routine inspection, we found that that bridge had some crack runners underneath it.
Ascension Public Works Director Frank Frederick ordered the weight limit restriction lowered to 3 tons less than 3 weeks ago. But Channel 2 caught 5 of Frederick's own vehicles crossing the bridge. We were later told they weighed 6.5 tons. And after we turned off our cameras, this 20-ton ditch digger crossed it. Did you know anything about the weight limit on the bridge?
Nope.
No one told anybody at DPW?
That's my boss.
So we asked Frederick.
Have you warned your people not to drive across it?
We have.
Frederick told us he reprimanded his drivers for crossing the bridge. He says he also warned the school district, but despite the warning and the many signs posted along this road, we caught one Ascension Parish bus driver crossing the bridge. It's a bridge that Frederick claims his people won't cross until it is replaced later this year. Ken Pastrick, Channel 2 News.
By the way, Bus Superintendent Emile Chiquette says he received a complaint about the bus driver crossing the bridge and has discussed the problem with her, but he took no disciplinary action. He says his drivers were warned 2 weeks ago not to cross the bridge. In the meantime, students at Bruley High School got an unexpected half a day off today. That was after construction workers ruptured a main that provides water to the school and to nearby businesses. Classes will resume at Bruley High School tomorrow. I'll say that again. Classes will resume at Bruley High School tomorrow. Jake Skeller tonight in for Pat Shingleton with the first forecast. Jake?
Well, Dave, another sunny and warm day. We start out with a little bit of cloud cover. The sun did come out, though, today. We topped out just a few degrees shy of a record high, as a matter of fact. And it looks like tomorrow is going to be a transition day with more clouds and also the chance for some showers later on tomorrow evening. So we go to our WeatherNet 2 site right now. I'll show you just how warm it is to French Settlement Elementary School, where right now the current temperature is 71 degrees. The winds are now out of the west-southwest, averaging about 3 miles per hour, bringing in some warm air and also a lot of moisture that's going to be falling as some heavy rain on Friday. So your first forecast tonight, cloudy and warm, will drop to 63. Could see a little bit of patchy fog developing, although most of us will not see that. And then Thursday, it looks like another cloudy, warm day, just like today. In fact, just a little bit warmer with the high temperature coming up at about 81 degrees. And in a few minutes, we're going to take you through the rest of this weekend, tell you how much rain we're going to expect on Friday. That's up in a few minutes. But now let's go back to Dave.
All right, Jake, thanks very much. Still to come tonight here on Channel 2 News at 6, this poor puppy was the witness to a horrible crime. Tonight, her story. Also ahead, another group is stepping in to put pressure on the U.S. Attorney General to try to settle a Baton Rouge dispute. With parts of the East Baton Rouge Parish school tax plan still under scrutiny, concerned voters want the whole plan implemented, so they've decided to step up for the challenge. Catherine Mosley joins us live now from the newsroom with more on this. Catherine.
Dave, this group says it has the children's best interests at heart, and they're taking those steps to the top. It was a historical moment. For the first time in 30 years, voters approved money for the East Baton Rouge public schools. But since then, some have challenged parts of the vote. Just last week, the Justice Department objected. The issue? Whether the plan hurts desegregation.
I hope it won't take too long thereafter to reach settlements on some or all of the other matters.
But that delay could prevent the improvements that are supposed to help students. So a group of voters is getting involved. Today, they asked Louisiana United States senators to set up a face-to-face meeting with United States Attorney General Janet Reno. They want to find a resolution without going to court.
We are committed to travel on an immediate basis at any time that we get news from one of the members of the delegation or from the Attorney General's office itself that we are ready. Our bags are packed, and we will.
Group leader Brace Godfrey thinks they can convince Reno to work things out.
The federal government is not in the business of destroying local school systems based on litigation decisions.
Now, some good news. Just a little while ago, I spoke with Senator Lander's office, and she has agreed to help the group set up a meeting with the U.S. Attorney General. Dave?
Catherine, time is crucial here because they're trying to get this done by, what, February the 1st?
February 1st, that's right.
Okay, otherwise it will be months of delay.
Yes.
All right, Catherine, thanks very much. As we said earlier, Jake is in, and I'll tell you, when you see high readings in the upper 70s and lower 80s, it's hard to remember here we are in January here in South Louisiana.
That's right, the dead of winter, and we were only 2 degrees shy of our record high temperatures set back not too long ago. 81 degrees, 79 degrees was the high of the record of 81 set back in 1982. Not too far away from that. We should reach about that reading on tomorrow, 81 degrees, and then no rainfall in the bucket. That's going to change by Friday. So when we come back, we're going to tell you why we're setting up for some heavy rain and also some severe weather. We'll tell you all about that in just a few minutes. Well, that sunshine out there this afternoon could have been the last good bit of sunshine we'll see, at least until it looks like Saturday. A lot of rainfall on our way. Tonight, though, just some cloud cover, maybe a little bit of patchy fog after midnight. We'll drop down to 63, and then on Thursday, that's kind of a transition day. We're watching a lot of clouds move back in and also the chance for some late showers tomorrow night. 81 degrees, the high temperature. Along the coast tomorrow, you'll be expecting some fog. You can expect some fog. The winds will be pretty gusty out of the south at about 10 to 15 knots. The seas are up to about 5 feet and choppy. Notice your tide times there for Grand Isle tomorrow. Again, the rivers, the Amite continues to drop now down to about 11 feet. The Mississippi and the Atchafalaya, though, both on the rise, gaining almost a foot from this time yesterday. So again, we saw a day that was kind of cloudy this morning. We broke the clouds this afternoon, and then we're starting to see them return back to the area. Again, a lot of clear skies across the deep south, but notice some of these higher clouds beginning to move closer towards the state. What's setting up is a warm front is up to our north, and anytime we see a warm front, we can usually expect those southwesterly breezes bringing us that warm air off of the Gulf of Mexico, also some moisture. So we're starting to see the clouds increase as well. And then way back out into Texas, out into California, we're talking way out on the west coast, is our next storm system. It's going to move very quickly across the southern tier of the U.S. and move through here later this week, bring us some showers. 71 degrees, the high temperature right now. We were up to 79, so it was a very warm day. Again, the showers and thunderstorms in California, this is the beginning of our next weather system that will pull across the southern tier of the U.S. and bring us some potentially severe weather by this time on Friday. The warm, moist air riding up to the north, and then here comes that front, been through here, and boom, there are the showers for Friday. So expect some nasty weather during the day on Friday. Keep it tuned to Channel 2. We'll keep you posted if there is the event of some severe weather. So your forecast tonight, cloudy skies. It's breezy and warm with a little bit of patchy fog out there, 63 degrees. And then tomorrow you're waking up to some fog again, clouds. Peaking sun and warm in the afternoon with late showers and 81 the high. The extended forecast shows the nasty weather on Friday, but clearing out for Saturday, even cooling down just a little bit with the temperatures back in the 50s for highs. And we do have some salutes. Carmen and Herman Revere, 48 years of marriage, happy anniversary. Otis and Marjorie Forbes as well, celebrating 50. Williamine Bailey is 96 today, and Dottie Parrish, happy birthday to you, 95 years young. So yeah, it looks like Friday is setting up for some pretty heavy rainfall.
That looks like there's no doubt about that one, right?
Right, no doubt about it.
All right, Jake, thanks very much. Now let's take a look at what's coming up tonight here on Channel 2 News, 10 at 10.
Tonight.
He worked for years, looked forward to retirement. Then the same day he left work, he found out he has terminal cancer. See how new research could provide couples like this a happier ending together.
Plus, could trouble be looming for the proposed Exxon-Mobil merger? We'll have these stories and the breaking news of the evening back tonight on Channel 2 News 10 at 10. But lots ahead still tonight. Our 6 o'clock sports with Mike Rhodes. He is standing by in the newsroom with a preview for us. Mike?
All right, thank you, Dave. The LSU basketball team has come close on 3 occasions this year. Tonight, it's Florida. Can they close the deal? We'll see if they can learn how, and we'll have a preview in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. The LSU basketball team quickly becoming the heartbreak kids in the SEC. They've lost 3 games in the closing minutes, causing fans plenty of pain. Jim Egan is at the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. The Tigers getting ready to host Florida. Jim, you think there's any light at the end of this tunnel? Florida, a very good team.
Mike, Florida is a good team, and if you look at the Tigers' record, you wouldn't think that there is any light at the end of the tunnel. But head coach John Brady says that the team is making progress, and he's using this weekend's loss as proof. The Tigers didn't win the game, but they had a chance to win it, and he says that is a much better road performance than they had been getting. Now he needs the team to take that final step in order to get a win, and here's who he's going to be counting on. We all know this player, Maurice Carter. He is the leader behind the Tigers, primarily because he is the team's scorer. He is right now 3rd in the SEC in terms of scoring percentage, averaging about 14 points a game. The Tigers need him to make those game-winning shots, and he needs to keep calm at the end of games. And then Jabari Smith, the big 6'10" center, he is actually 2nd in rebound percentage in the SEC. The Tigers need key rebounds at the end of games, so if they put the scoring and the rebounding in at the same time, we should see the Tigers start to pull out some of these close games. Mike, they will be tipping off just after 7 o'clock. It'll be Florida and LSU. Keep in mind that LSU has beaten the Gators twice in overtime the last 2 games, so this one should be pretty close, and Florida has not won in the 90s here at the Pete Maravich Assembly Center, so they could go over for all of the 90s if the Tigers pull out a win tonight. We'll have the highlights at 10. Now back to you.
All right, thank you, Jim. And the Baton Rouge Kingfish return home tonight for a date with the Charlotte Checkers. These teams just met Sunday in Charlotte with the Fish getting a shootout win. John, tonight a break-even point and a kind of important point for the Baton Rouge Kingfish.
Yeah, it sure is, Mike. This would bring the Kingfish back to the 500 for the first time since they were 2-2 after just 5 games. They have a good chance to get there actually tonight. Charlotte is in last place in the Southeast Division of the ECHL, and as you mentioned, last weekend the Kingfish beat Charlotte in a shootout win 3-2. Also, the Kingfish have been red hot in January, particularly the goaltenders, and Bob Willett, coach, has 2 good goaltenders to choose from. First, there's Jordan Willis. McGill loves him. He just came back from being on loan to the Hershey Bears, and he was spectacular in goal against Charlotte this past weekend. But he also has Christian Soucy, the original Kingfish, who was back with the team as of last month, and he's been strong. Both goalies have basically identical records and very similar goals against averages, so Bob McGill says if you win, you're in, and if you lose, you're out. So it was Jordan Willis who won last weekend. He will be in goal tonight against Charlotte. It is the Checkers' only visit to Baton Rouge this year, so come on out and see them. They'll be dropping the puck at 7 o'clock, live from the Centerplex. Now back to you in the studio, Mike.
All right, thank you, John. Well, the Josh Booty Florida Marlins story continues to tick away toward a deadline. The new owner of the Marlins, John Henry, was introduced at a press conference today. One topic he did not discuss is Josh Booty. But I did speak with player personnel director Rob Leary, who said the Marlins have not released Booty. They plan for him to be in spring training, but he added that could change in a heartbeat. Now, the late enrollment deadline is tomorrow at LSU. University of Colorado has named its new head football coach. Gary Barnett leaves Northwestern and returns to a state where he has deep roots. Barnett once coached with Jared DiNardo on the Colorado staff in the late 80s into the early 90s. He spent 7 years rebuilding Northwestern, once one of the worst college programs in the country. The official announcement will be made on Friday in Colorado. So remember, just about 3 weeks ago, DiNardo was in that rumor mill for the Colorado job.
Lots of rumors floating these days.
Lots of rumors.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much.
Okay.
If you have a big heart and a desire to own a dog, you don't want to miss our final story tonight. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, a mixed day on Wall Street. The Dow Jones closed down 19 points, but another record breaker for the NASDAQ. It was up 7. And finally tonight, 2 WBRZ salutes all wrapped into one. First, a special canine who is hoping to get a new home, and we're also saluting the generous doctors who saved the dog's life. Let's take you back to last week. 2-year-old Squiggy was shot in the leg during an incident in which her owner was killed. So authorities brought her here to the LSU Vet School for help. Although she lost her leg and a place to call home, apparently she hasn't lost her energy or that sweet disposition. And Squiggy appears to be a Shepherd-Rottweiler mix. Animal Control tells us they are looking for an owner for this dog. If you would like to adopt her, give a call at 774-7700. Again, that's 774-7700. If you didn't get the number, call us here at the station. We'll be happy to pass it along. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tonight for Channel 2 News at 10.
Thanks for watching Channel 2, locally owned and operated for more than 44 years.